Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans.
Roach, and I listen to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Yes, people, I'm here. I had to scramble this morning. My name's Machel, St. Patrick here, one half of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, and I'm trying to put on my tie because I've got to go to work in 1 hour and 40 minutes. Big up everyone who's here on the live watch-along, ready to rally with the West Indies. Players are just taking a knee, raising awareness to discrimination and prejudice all around the globe. Big up the West Indies for still highlighting that conversation when other teams stopped doing it a long time ago. So, as predicted, Brandon King is back into the side. Shamar Brooks holds the drop. West Indies will bat first and try to put scoreboard pressure on the Irish, and assume that their bowlers are good enough. Sorry, let me get that done. And assume that the bowlers are good enough to protect whatever total West Indies put up. We're going to need, tense times, people. Can we get the W? I reckon we're going to need 175, and I think we can win. Anything underneath that, and we're going to have to ask the bowlers to do magic yet again. 4 openers in the side today. Let's see. It's Mayers, and who's opening with him? Charles. And we get off the mark straight away with a quick single. So I'm not sure. Mayers and Charles are opening today. I'm not sure I don't know how Brandon King is fitting into this. I don't know if they're going to use him as a floating number 4 like they've been using Shamar Brooks. But I've got a feeling, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they've got more faith in Brandon King than Shamar Brooks. So when Lewis comes in and gets out, I wouldn't expect to see Pooran come in ahead of Brandon King unless there's spin being used and they want to utilize Pooran to try and take advantage of the spin. It wouldn't surprise me to see just Brandon King come in as an auxiliary number 4. Oh, so we're going to miss outside the off stump there from Johnson Charles. Right. I don't want to... Sorry, let me go into comments. Yeah, morning, Lloyd. Big up yourself. I don't want to... wait, is that Lloyd that I met in the Netherlands? I don't want to put a lot of pressure on any players today, but you kind of feel like Pooran's got to come to the party today. Oh, again, bit of zip, bit of bounce outside the off stump, and he little beats Johnson Charles outside the off stump again. You kind of feel like the big players have to show up today, and by that I mean your Nicholas Poorans, your Evan Lewises, etc. Yes, anybody could put a score on the board for West Indies, whether that be Johnson Charles, whether that be Carl Mayers, whether that be Brandon King, Rodman Powell, but Pooran needs a score. Ideally, Pooran doesn't even come into bat, but he needs a score. Charles chases that one outside the off stump, gets a skew outside off the outside edge, and that screws away for a boundary down at third man. I had to rush today to get ready for work, you know. First boundary of the day. No foot movement whatsoever from Johnson Charles, but he flung the bat at it and got his rewards for it. Right, 4th ball. Is this 5th ball of the over? Charles again goes after that one, just guides that down to the man at deep backward point for 1 run. Rickon says, which score will make you feel at ease? Anything over 175, and I think West Indies have enough in their bowling locker to defend it. Arguably, based on the first two matches, we restricted Scotland to 160. We bowled out Zimbabwe for 1-2. What was it again? And that's the end of the first over. The power play is 6 for none. What did we bowl Zimbabwe out for again? Was it like 1-3-1 or something? So based on the game so far, you would think the West Indies have enough firepower to defend anything under 170 for sure. But this batting lineup hasn't shown up yet in the tournament. So I want to see them really lay a marker down. The only way to definitively beat Ireland is to put up such a huge total that the Irish have to chase it. And then I would say that our bowling attack is good enough to defend it. So yeah, I want 175 or higher to feel like we'll win. Anything under that, and I'm sweating. Anyway, 6 for none after the first over. Let me just update the score, people. Again, Charles Chase outside the offside. He beats that through covers. Will it race away or should run 3 for that? Will they run 2? No, they run 2. But sometimes it don't feel like we run hard enough, you know. Sheikh says Charles has to go big. Anybody, just someone. I don't care who. Just someone has to go big. I don't really care who it is. Just someone needs to go big today. Charles tries to punch that one back past marker there, but nothing doing there. Let's put a jumper on, boy. Sachin says, do you think they should go hard? Again, no run there. Sachin says, do you think they should go hard in the power play and risk losing wickets considering loads of opening batters? Yeah, it's a good point, Sachin. I think we've actually, if you consider how we've done in the tournament so far, we've actually done well in the power play. First game versus Scotland, I think we got to 55 for 1. Second game versus Zimbabwe, we got to 49 for 1. So it's the power play I'm not too worried about. I think we'll probably post something similar, but it's what we do after the power play that really concerns me, right? Charles. Oh, is that Simi Singh? Lines up that one, Johnson Charles, but you can only find long leg. I think was that Simi Singh at long leg? I haven't seen this Ireland team for 1 run. No. Mayers works on off his legs there. Went for a quick single, had to turn back round. No run. Charles was not interested in any run there. Yeah, I kind of agree with Sheikh, though. As much as I'm saying I think the power play will take care of itself, one of them has to go not big in the power play, but show intent. So the thing is, Mayers and Charles, they are intent players, so I'd be surprised if one of them doesn't try to. Might get out though. Again, no run there. It's good over here by Marco. There's that. Yeah, that's the end of the over. Just 3 from it. West Indies 9 without loss. So quiet start. Quiet start from West Indies here. Need a big over. Drew says this marker there is a key performer for Ireland. 75 wickets at 19. 7.6 economy in T20 internationals. I hear you. Either way, good start for Ireland. Subpar start here for West Indies, but 4 more overs of the power play to go. It's about It's about where you end the power play, not how you start the power play. So no need to make any big pronouncements yet about how they've done or how they're doing. Again, Charles can't drive that one through the covers. Barry McCarthy into the attack now. No run. Run is trying to sort out. There we go. That looks a bit better. So if anyone's trying to fix my visuals, I'm watching them. Again, good Yorker there by Barry McCarthy. Dot ball again. Haven't got going at all yet so far, West Indies. So 2.2 overs bowled. Or 14 balls bowled. West Indies 9 without loss. Not got going yet. 1 second, people. I'm just going to mute myself. Just need to. Can't find what I'm looking for. Mayers goes after that one. Has he got enough on it? No. Gone. Mayers' poor World Cup continues. Barry McCarthy, 4th ball of the over. Mayers tries to clear that for a big shot, and he goes for, 1 run from 5 balls, and the first wicket goes. Carl Mayers has had a subpar World Cup with, you could say subpar. Mayers had just a subpar World Cup, full stop. That shot made no sense. That shot that Mayers just hit there was a type of shot where that possibly works in the Caribbean, but it's not working in Australia. So West Indies was their first wicket, 9 for 1. Barry McCarthy strikes. That's not even shot execute. That's not shot execution. That's shot selection. That shot wasn't on. That shot wasn't on for me. And Mayers gives it away. Tries to tries to drive that on the up. Clear that it was just poor. It just wasn't on. That whatever he was attempting there, that wasn't on. And that's come from the fact that him and Charles haven't run any singles. So he would have felt pressure to get things moving and get things going. 16 balls have been bowled. We're on 9 runs, no boundaries, hardly running any singles or twos. And I think they've put Mayers would have felt like, right, a big shot's got to come. And the execution, it's 10 for 1, sorry, not 9 for 1. And yeah, that was just, I think Richard has put it in the chat. It was just a nothing shot. Anyways, we got 4 openers in. Ireland bang on the money so far here. Right, so that's the end of the over. Brilliant over there from Barry McCarthy. And at the end of the 3rd over, West Indies are 11 for 1. I said it's not how you start the power play, it's how you end the power play. Well, boy, we're halfway through the power play, and West Indies haven't got going at all. By the end of this power play, I don't know how they're going to over the next 3 overs, but West Indies, boy, it's just poor so far. Poor start from West Indies. Remember, West Indies chose to bat. They won the toss and chose to bat. Well, let me just update Twitter. I wasn't even going to bother with Twitter, but I guess I should do. Curtis Camphor gets the 4th over. So Ireland rotating their bowlers here. Lewis off strike. Right, so here we go. So Curtis Camphor, let's see what variations he bowls. Oren Smith says shot, but I must be like 5 minutes behind Oren Smith because I ain't seen no shot yet. Let me update my stream here. Maybe I've done something wrong. Well, now I have seen the shot, so now I see what Oren's talking about. So that's the first boundary of proceedings. Who was that? Was that Johnson Charles? Yeah. Yeah, Johnson Charles just goes for the big lash. The shot was on, in fairness, and he executes it. Camphor back in again. Charles lashes that one straight through the covers. No one's stopping that. Right out of the middle of the bat. And that's a 4. Back-to-back 4s there from Johnson Charles. Oh, sorry, Dhruv. Yeah, Dhruv's right. Sorry, that the boundary there from Charles, or these boundaries aren't the first. There was one earlier on. I forgot about that. And that one is out the ground. Slower ball from Camphor, and Johnson Charles sends that straight back to St. Lucia. And that's a 6, 4, 4, 6. And all of a sudden, having possibly focused on the fact that we'd had a slow start, I need to change my screen dimensions because I can barely read what it's saying. But West Indies move up to 26. So having been 11 for 1 after 3 overs, having been 11 for 1 from 3 overs, all of a sudden West Indies are 26. Are 26 for 1. Now, Johnson Charles does not need to hit this last ball of the over, but will he? Yep, he goes after it, but he screws away for 1, and that's the end of a very good over. 16 off the 4th over, and from having a dreadful power play, West Indies are now 27 for 1 at the end of the 4th over. So maybe they will get up to something close to par in the power play. Right, what will Ireland do? They turn to Simi Singh. Interesting that they've gone to Simi Singh in the power play. I would have thought that the better tactic, I mean, he may well strike now, but I would have thought the better tactic would be to save. Oh, Sharma has said gone. So has Simi Singh still? Let's see. Yep. It looks like Charles is about to be out here based on what you lot have said. I must be about 17 balls behind you lot, because first ball of that Simi Singh over is just slapped to the cover, slapped to covers, no run. And that, yeah, there you go. Soft delivery. Spinner comes on, spinner strikes. Charles just lofts a little nothing cut shot straight to, who was that who took the catch? I don't know who took the catch there. And that's the second wicket. Charles goes now. And the spinner comes on, the spinner strikes. West Indies lose their second. That was just much like Mayer's dismissal. Much like Mayer's dismissal, absolutely nothing shot there. That was the issue that I have with West Indies. So Charles made 24 of 18. The thing I have about sorry, people. The thing I have about our attitude to spin, or our inability to play spin, is that more often than not, when they get out, it's nothing. The spinners aren't bowling like dynamite deliveries where it's like, oh boy, they got done by the pace and the bounce, or the turn and the bounce, or the drift. That Simi Singh delivery was just a nothing delivery, and Charles produced a nothing shot. We make spinners. I sometimes feel we make spinners, average spinners, with respect to Simi Singh, we make them look good. So yeah. Anyways, Brandon King comes in at number 4, which makes sense. Because Nicholas Pooran doesn't need to come in this early. And Brandon now comes in as if he was opening anyway. First shot, just touch, time him through the covers. 4 runs. West Indies go to 31 for 2. Oh, caught on bold, put down there by Simi Singh. So Brandon King, he might be hurt by that one. Brandon King just drives one straight back at Simi Singh. It would have needed to be Simi Singh brought out the full dive to try and get that, but puts it down. You can't really call that a drop per se. It's a chance though. 1 ball left of the 5th over. King works that one off his pads for 1 run, and that's the end of the 5th over. West Indies 32 for 2. So 39 of you in the live. If you're watching, do like the video. Do subscribe to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. You don't have to, of course. But if you are new to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, if you follow the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, do press like, do press subscribe, and have a watch of all the other content that we do on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. We've got an extensive live back catalogue. We've got an extensive catalogue or back catalogue. Loads of different episodes, loads of different interviews with key stakeholders all around the Caribbean and the cricket fraternity in the Caribbean. Lots of live shows, call-in shows, etc., etc. So we went on tour, or I went on tour earlier this summer to the Netherlands to cover the West Indies tour there. So lots of things on the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Anyways, Barry McCarthy. So finally, somebody gets to bowl their second over, and Barry McCarthy will close out the power play. He took a wicket in his first spell, only went for 3 runs, and he will try and close out the power play here. I think West Indies, based on the substandard start, I think we might have to accept that ideally we want them to get to 40 by the end of this over. That would be subpar, but that's what we might have to accept here. Well driven there by Evan Lewis, but the man on the perimeter manages to cut round to get one. So 2 singles so far. This is what I want to... Well, boy, let me not say anything. Ideally, this is what we want to see in the middle overs. Just rotate. If you can't go big, so again, King, quick single there. So far, 3 balls bowled by Barry McCarthy, singles taken off each one. If you can't hit a big shot, just rotate. That's all West Indian fans want to see. Like, the West Indian players have to assume that loose balls will come. So what most West Indian fans want to see, Simi Singh now putting ice on his hand there. Ireland will hope that, and that's another single. So 4 balls bowled in this 6th over, 4 singles. So Ireland will hope that Simi Singh's hand heals up because they will need him. He will be a crucial part. It's not his bowling hand, in fairness. So, but they will hope that he can obviously come back on because he will get wickets in this game because West Indies just give wickets away to spin. 36 for 2 balls left of the power play. Again, Brandon King flicks that one off his pad. That might make 4. Yeah, and he gets 4. And there you go. So that's my point, right? So first 4 balls of the 6 over, King and Charles rotate strike, singles, 4 from 4. You wait for the bad ball. Barry McCarthy drifts that one onto Brandon King's pads, and touch player Brandon King, he puts that away for the boundary. So all of a sudden now, with 1 ball to go of this over, we have 8 runs. So we don't have to go for big shot. Wait for the loose shot. Just tick the scoreboard over. Wait for the loose ball. Then bring out your shot. If you've got the shot. If it's in the slot. 40 for 2, 1 ball to go of the power play. And Brandon King guides that one to the man on the perimeter, 1 run. So that's the end of the power play. West Indies end it on 41 for 2. That's subpar, but given how slow we started, for those who've only just come into the live, halfway through the power play, West Indies were 11 for 1. So they added 30 runs. They went at a strike rate of 10 over the remaining 3 overs of the power play. So we kind of just have to accept that. It's subpar. Not going to try and pretend it's good. But it'll do. It'll have to do for now. Now comes the crucial stage of all West Indies innings. What are we going to do between overs number 7 to over number 15? How badly are we going to play? Everyone strap on now. Go get... Well, boy, in the Caribbean, it's depending on which part of the Caribbean you're in. For most of you now, it's like midnight. If you can still if you can still hold a little rum, you might want to get a little piece of rum now, people, because this is the actual frightening part of the West Indies batting. So, boy, here we go. Oh, Lord. Who are they bringing on? Gareth Delaney. So immediately Ireland turn to spin. The leg spin bowler comes on. Oh, Lord. How many wickets are we going to lose now in this middle phase? Jesus, take the wheel. Right, first ball from Gareth Delaney, and again, Brandon King gets things moving. Let me just check. So King is 13 off 9 so far. Just This is what we mean by intent without big shots. Just keep it moving. Tick it over. Sorry, let me just update our Twitter account. So West Indies 41 for 2 at the end of the. Every team, Evan Lewis again drives that one through the covers, and the man at deep point comes off the boundary, 1 run. Do you know what's wild with West Indies, though, is every single team in the world knows we can't play spin. So they don't, no matter who plays us, they just know their tactics. How many spinners can we fit in the squad without weakening our batting? Because we know that West Indies must give away some wickets to spin. But anyway, so far, touch wood, first 3 balls of Delaney's over, 3 singles. This is what I want to see from West Indies batters. Rotate. If you can't get a big shot, rotate. And if it means we have to go a couple of overs or 3 overs at 5, so be it. The loose balls will eventually come. And again, Evan, 4th ball of the over, drives that one out to deep point. 4 balls, 4 singles. That'll do for now. Oren says, do any of the batters have the sweep? About 2 of them. One of them in Hetmeyer has it, but as Neeks has just said, Hetmeyer didn't want to get on the plane. So we can only work with what we got. That's a dot ball there by Delaney. So 1 ball left of the 7th over. West Indies 45 for 2. Jake says, who's on strike? Brandon King and Evan Lewis are on strike at the moment. Drew says, promote Holder or Keel. If a wicket falls, it'll be Pooran next, you would assume. Although, if King gets out and Brandon works on one of his pads for a single, so 5 off the 7th, I can't hate on that. Given how bad we are with spin, I can't hate on that. So Drew, if Brandon King gets out, I could see a situation where they might turn to Jason Holder before Nicholas Pooran. But then you've got Rovman Powell as well, who's not, I wouldn't say he's the strongest. Lloyd's got a point here. Lloyd says it's not even spinning. Exactly. It's just anything slow. To be honest, though, Lloyd, just anything. Actually, we just struggle with anything. But definitely anything slow, and we're treating it like it's prime Shane Warne. Definitely need one of the overs before the 10th over. I'd want to see a big over, though. But we need someone to bowl loose. Anyways, who's back? Camphor back into the attack. He went for 16 off his first. Interesting that they've turned to Camphor before turning back to... Who opened again? Mark Adair and... Who opened the bowling? Mark Adair and... Who opened the bowling for Ireland, people? Adair bowled the second. Who bowled the first? Can't remember right now. Yeah, Brandon times that one, gets onto that one. Right, 50's up for the West Indies. King slaps that one away through the... That's it, was Little. King slaps that one through the covers, too short from Camphor, and King was onto that quickly. If you missed the start of the watch along, people, no, sweet by, it wasn't McCarthy, it was Little who started. I'm surprised. So what my point being, I'm surprised they've gone back to Camphor so quickly after you got licked down for 16. I'm surprised they wouldn't have asked Adair or Little to come back before him. But I guess if Camphor is integral to being one of their bowlers, they expect to bowl 4 or minimum 3. I guess you've got to fit the overs in somewhere. He is normally better than this, by the way, people. I'm not trying to speak down on Curtis Camphor. Is a very good cricketer. A very good all-rounder, I should say. So those who missed the start of the watch along, I said that I wanted West Indies to get to 175 for me to feel like we're going to win. Evan swivels on that one, pulls it, but that's just a single. Evan moves to 7 off 8. Brandon King is on 20 off 15. Although, based on what some of you are putting in the chat, it must be the next shot is a 4. Yeah, Orin, I agree. Camphor's bowled poorly so far today. It's like he's trying to do a bit too much. He's not settled. Yeah, King just drives it on the up through the covers. That's another 4 runs. Excellent placement from Brandon King. He moves to 24 off 16 balls. He's come in and just got going. And do you know what's been good about Brandon King thus far? Yes, he's latched onto anything short and anything loose, but in between that, as soon as he got out, intent, rotation. And that helps because before you know it, when you latch onto the loose balls, you're already 7 off 7 because rotation, and then you latch onto the loose balls. But yeah, Orin, back to your point. Camphor's not settled on a set line and length here, so he's either under pitching, over pitching, and King, who's in touch, is just like that's food and drink to Brandon King. Anyways, yeah, so West Indies move to last ball of the 8th over. Again, King goes after that one through the covers again. This time, the man on the boundary is able to cut that off. Do they come out for 2? Yeah, they come out for 2. And that's the end of the 8th over. West Indies, 58 for 2. So how much did Camphor go for in that over? 8, 10. Camphor goes for 12. Camphor's bowled 2 overs for 28 runs. So far, he's the person that the West Indians have feasted on. And West Indies are 58 for 2 after 8. So the strike rate at the moment is 7.25. I think West Indies would take this. Again, the key here, obviously we're about to lose wickets in a cluster because that's what we do. But the key, if they don't do that in today's game, is to set the game up for the back end. Can we actually get to the back end and set the game up for Rovman and Oldeen in particular to come in with some freedom to hit the ball? That's, in an ideal world, that's what we want to do. I don't know if we're going to do it, but that's what I want to see us do. Anyways, let me tell you lot something about work today. You lot can't see it on the screen. You know them ones where you don't even iron your shirt for work. And you know why I haven't ironed my shirt, people? Because cricket's on and I ain't got time. So guess here what? I'm going to put a jumper on with my crumpled up shirt underneath. I'm not even ironing it today. I'm going to school raggo today. Pure raggo. Cricket's on. I ain't got time to iron. Crumpled up, if my mum ever saw my shirt looking like it's just come out the washing machine. Sachin says it's Friday, Mash. Dress up. Nah, Friday is dressed down. I do have my actual tie and my trousers on, but I'm gonna have to find an appropriate jumper to hide the shirt. So yeah, so Josh Little is back into the attack for the 9th over. West Indies 60 for 2. Yeah, how many dot balls have we bowled? So how many dot balls have there been so far? I feel like Evan Lewis and Brandon King haven't wasted any balls thus far in their partnership. So if anyone is on the ESPN or something, what's the dot ball percentage for this game? I feel like it's actually, obviously Mayers and Charles were horrible in the first 3 with the dot balls, but they've certainly gone down with King and Lewis. Lewis swivels on that one. They should run that this hard, come back for 2. Yeah, they come back for 2. That's good running there by the West Indies. This is good, people. Utilize, run hard. These are big grounds in Australia. Run hard. What you think is 1 in the Caribbean is 2 in Australia. So run hard. This is how you win the games. It's the extra 1%ers. Good hustle there from Evan. So West Indies 62 for 2, 3 balls left of the 9th over. Again, another quick single. Evan punch, quick run. Josh Little can't cut that off. 63 for 2. Yeah, good point from Drew. They've looked busy. This partnership thus far between Lewis and King is the best partnership I've seen for West Indies in the tournament so far. It's just busy cricket. You can, again, I'll say that point I said earlier on. You can show intent without hitting. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. You see, this is how you know we've been showing intent. Lewis is injured. The man's ain't used to running like this. Now man's injured. Ah, boys, this is why Evan shouldn't have said. This is why Evan should never have gone on the internet talking about he's a fit guy. Look at this now. Man start running some twos proper. He said, boy, I'm down. I'm out. Too much running. Oh, dear. Is it cramp or is it just a... Oh, boy. Evan said all this running is stress, and now he's injured. Ah, boy, oh boy. If anything, boy, let's not go there to the obvious and say this is why Evan. But in fairness, this isn't even harsh. Evan does have a history of breaking down. So let's see if he can keep going here. Will he stay on the pitch? This is a World Cup, Evan. We ain't got time for you to walk off the pitch right about now. You best just work your way through the injury and keep working on the fitness, you know? So Drivers filled us in on the dot balls. I presume he's said, I presume what he's put. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So King and Lewis have been busy. Is Lewis staying on the pitch, though? What's going on here? Richard's telling me to go and iron my shirt for work. Richard, if I go iron my shirt for work, I've got to lock off this live right now and go spend some time. But the thing is, Richard, is, you know what? The thing is, Richard, if I put a jumper on, the collar is ironed, you know. The collar's ironed. I'm just saying the rest of the shirt isn't. Listen, I've got priorities, Richard. What are you saying? Cricket or iron my shirt? We can't do both right now. We can't do both. Cricket or iron the shirt? People, let me know. Cricket or iron the shirt? If I put on a jumper and a blazer, no one will see the shirt. I'm not saying I don't have standards, people. I'm just saying West Indies have to come first today. I hadn't even had I need to go have my morning tea, though, because my face is feeling tired right now. You know them ones where you cream your skin, but your face still feels tired and dry? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. Anyways, we're back. We're back. Lewis is up and ready. Sachin says, am I teaching today? Do you know what? I don't actually have any lessons today, Sachin. This is the best day I have of the week for this particular week of the timetable. I don't teach any lessons on the Friday, but you know, like, it's weird. Like, I don't teach any lessons on this day, but it's always the busiest day of the week. Like, the biggest madnesses always happen on this day, even though I technically should be able to just go and enjoy myself. Anyways, good Yorker to end that over. 6 off the 9th over. West Indies 64 for 2. I think we're about par. If you go back, Dhruv is the man with the stats. So Dhruv, if you can pull out the stats. If you go back to our last 2 matches, actually, no, because Scotland. I feel like at the halfway stage of both games, we were all right after 10 overs. Against Zimbabwe, we were 70 odd for 2. Most certainly, yeah, we were 70 odd for 2. I can't remember what we were against Scotland, but what were we at the halfway stage against Scotland? Had we only lost 2 wickets at the halfway stage, or had the collapse come by then? But anyways, if we can get to the halfway stage at 70 odd for 2, again, like the Zimbabwe game, you're setting yourselves up to cash in at the back end. But we're all still waiting for that moment in the game where we start to lose wicket in clusters. Will we actually avoid that today? Current run rate is 7.11. I'd like to see them up that a bit to the certainly high 7s. And King latches onto that one outside of some. Mark Adair back in for his second over. Brandon King has been brilliant thus far. He's hardly wasted any deliveries at all. This has been brilliant from Brandon King. All eyes on Evan Lewis now. Sherwinator says we need more than 160. Listen, I think we need more than 170 to be not comfortable, but to believe we can win. Also, I'm going to say to believe, I mean us. Forget them. Us, for us to believe we can win. Is that going to be called a wide, or is that just inside? No, gets away with it. Yeah, that wasn't a wide. That's well bowled. Right, this is good from Mark Adair. 3 balls bowled in the 10th over, 1 ... Lewis needs to produce something here, or at least get off strike. And he has swivels and cuts, or pulls even, 1 run. This is the only problem for Evan thus far. Score predictor is saying we're going to get to 173. But this is the only problem for Evan thus far, in that I actually think if you look at Evan's innings thus far in the tournament, he's always got going. Like, he's got a start and look like he's trying to rotate the strikes. And Neeks has literally said what I was just about to say. This is the issue I've had with Evan thus far in the tournament. It looks like he's struggling to... What we associate Evan with is finding boundaries. And it looks like, yes, he's showing intent in terms of trying to rotate strike. But because Evan's game also depends on boundaries, it means that his run rate is subpar. And it looks like he's struggling out there, when actually it's not that he's struggling. He's just struggling to find boundaries. Yeah, and that one undercuts it. No run, only 3 runs off it. So Ireland on top. Ireland on top at the halfway stage. Mark Adair, another brilliant over. Second one goes for 3 runs. He's bowled 2 overs for 6. And West Indies are 67 for 2 at the halfway stage. Ireland definitely on top here. West Indies will feel that at least they've got to the halfway stage with wickets in hand, but the run rate is not where it needs to be. They certainly need the next 5 overs. Someone said it earlier on. Let me find the comment. Someone said as long as West Indies are... Who put it? So against Scotland, we were 69 for 4 after 10, and Zimbabwe 77 for 2. Davik says ideal situation is to reach 100 by the 13th or 14th over. Well, I don't see that happening. Yeah, Dhruv, good point from Dhruv. Evan's not he's used to being set by the end of a power play. He's play number 3. Now he's got to build, and he's just struggling a tiny piece to build an innings. I think he is trying to show something. Obviously, he's carrying an injury, it looks like, but if what's it, I don't know. I just sense that what Evan's going to do and soon enough is he's going to have to, not have to, but I think he'll force a shot. Luke Bradley says he would have batted second seeing this pitch. I think West Indies have obviously gone for the scoreboard pressure aspect of this. But I think scoreboard pressure on this. Remember, Ireland played the early game on Wednesday and chased down. What did they chase down? Was it 177? 175? What did Ireland chase down against Scotland? Was it 175? Granted, they needed some superb innings to chase down that 175, but they chased it down. So at the moment, Evan Lewis 12 of 16 and King 30 of 21. Evan is going to have to now start getting a move on. That doesn't mean he's got to hit boundaries per se, but he's got to turn ones into twos, because 12 of 16 ain't working right now. It'll also be very interesting to see Simi Singh's left hand got bruised, dropping a caught and bowled off Brandon King. When will they turn back to Simi Singh? Surely they've got to go to the spinners through this middle. Everyone's bowled well for Ireland except Camphor. West Indies have to target someone else other than Camphor, because it may be now that Ireland don't go back to Camphor. He's bowled 2 for 28. So if Ireland aren't going to go back to Camphor, King and Lewis have to work out who else are they going to target. Ireland would have planned for Simi Singh to bowl 4. So I just wonder who's in now. Delaney's back, the leg spinner. And he starts with a dot. Richard says, just glad we have wickets in hand at the halfway mark. Yeah, we did against Zimbabwe as well, 77 for 2, and then the collapse started. But let's see. Right, King swivels on that one, goes after, but again can only find 1. Yeah, Morgan, let me explain. The reason I'm saying Evan needs to turn ones into twos, is that Rothman? The reason why Evan needs to turn ones into twos is because if he can't find the boundaries, then he needs to get out then. Because otherwise, what's the point in he can't go at 12 off 16 anymore. We're at the 10th over of the match, so things will have to change. So if his hamstring's restricting him, like it's got to be boundaries now for Evan. And I'm sure he knows that. Something's going to happen soon. Right, chops that one for 1. Sheldon says these two should bat until the 12th over and then start the launch. Well, they're 69 for 2 off 10.3. I'm not happy with this run rate right now. Ireland bringing it back a tiny piece in the power play. That's badly lined, and King can only turn that for 1. Yeah, Rough Cut says, let's be patient. They're setting it up. I hope so, Rough Cut. Because at the end of the day, if they can have wickets intact for the last 5, then I would back your Powells, your Purans, your Oldene Smiths to cash in the last 5. But Lewis, I think, might as well hit or get out, to be honest. That's a wide ball. You lot have already said he's out now. Yeah, see, Lewis goes to the big shot and he's out. Right, so Lewis goes. To be honest, I think given Lewis's injury, like, did I not call that before the start of this over? I said Lewis is now in a position where if he can't turn ones into twos because of his hamstring and he can't find boundaries, well, he might as well just hit or get out, because he hasn't. The injury is restricting him running hard. So I would arguably, I'm not anti Lewis getting out here. I think if he's carrying the hamstring injury, I think that's probably a good thing that he's out now. What do you think, people? Sharma says Puran can't play spin. Well, I don't know where you've got that from. Don't get me wrong. He could. I think Puran will come out next, and if Puran gets out, so be it. But generally speaking, isn't the whole point about Puran is that he's one of the better players of spin in this West Indies side. The problem isn't Puran can't play spin. The problem is that Puran's in bad form. I mean, people. Racy Lion says West Indies need to be 160 to be in the safe zone. Yep. At this stage, 71 for free off 11. I'd gladly take 160. I don't think that's enough. But then our bowling attack, you could argue, is potent enough to maybe defend that. And it is Nicholas Puran who comes out. He owes us one today. That might be Evan Lewis's tournament over, people. If he is injured like it looked like, then, and that's the end of the over. So 71 for free for the West Indies. People, I'm just going to go turn the kettle on. I'll be back in a second. Bear with me. Yeah, back-to-back fours there from Brandon King. 3 balls from McCarthy's 12th over. And Brandon King has licked him down for 10 so far. West Indies, 81 for free. Right. Sorry, people. I've got a jumper on now, as I'm sure you can tell. And that one's turned off his pad for a quick single. So 11 off the over so far, 2 balls to go. It's an expensive over here from Barry McCarthy. Brandon King is 42 off 27. Bringing that CPL form into proceedings here. Yeah, so Luke Bradley says Simi Singh might have a broken hand here. It's not his bowling hand, but like I say, Ireland's game plan would have been Simi Singh bowl 4 overs because West Indies can't play any slow bowling. So I wonder, is he fit enough to bowl with a damaged left hand, but obviously he's a right-handed bowler, will they still risk him? Pooran tries to swivel on that one, but no run. 1 ball left of the 12th over. So, yeah, how are Ireland going to fit Simi Singh in here? Very intrigued to see what they do. They still, Delaney, how many is, I think, has Delaney bowled 3? Has Delaney bowled 3 already? Let me go look at, whoever's got ESPN up, has Delaney bowled his 3 overs? Has Delaney bowled 3 overs? And Pooran swivels on that one for 1 run. Will they come out for 2? No, they're going to come out for 2. That's really good running. That's excellent running there. So that's 8, 10, 12, 13 off that 12th over. Good over there from West Indies. West Indies 84 for 3. They're trying to set this up for the back end. Current run rate is 7. If we can cash in at the back end, I can work with this. So I beg Nicholas, have a good innings today. I beg Nicholas, get the people off your back. Come on, bro. Come on, Nicholas. We need a big innings from you today. Right. So it is Simi Singh. So will he? Let's see. Has he got a patched up left hand? What have they done with him here? So King takes him for a single. Right. This is a very crucial time now with Simi Singh in. Simi Singh has got 3 overs. So you have to assume that Simi Singh is going to bowl the 13th, 15th, and 17th. That there is Ireland's whole game plan would have centered around Simi Singh going basically at nothing and taking wickets because of West Indies' inability to play spin. How will this a crucial phase of the game? Pooran goes after him outside the off stump and takes a single there, drives that down to the man at deep point. Well, I still feel that none of the West Indian players have really got to grips with the dimensions of this ground. Brandon King is on 40-something off 20 odds, right? But if you actually look at his innings, that's just been because King has shown intent in terms of running hard, turning 1s into 2s, 2s into 3s, and then hitting and then picking up regular boundaries. King's not trying to blast the ball out the ground. Pooran rocks back onto that one, but again can only find the man at point, 1 run. Again, King swivels on that. As he found the gap, nope. Man comes off the boundary. 1 run. So 5 runs off Simi Singh's second over so far. 1 ball left of it. Someone said earlier, I think it was Davik said, West Indies need to aim to get to 100 by the end of the 13th over. Well, there's 1 ball to go and we're 89 for 3. Pooran again cuts that and 6 off the over. 6 off the over. Again, I'm not too mad at that. If we can't hit boundaries off the spinner, I got no problem with them rotating the spinner for 6 singles. We're getting close, though. We're getting close to that stage of the game where West Indies will have to launch. Probably from the 15th over onwards, we're going to want to see some launching and some risks taken. But so far, don't know if Richard is in there. He's the type of person who'll probably agree with me here. If we're setting it up for the back end, then I've got no issue with that so far. Drew says there were at least 3 balls in the over which are begging to be hit. Yeah, but we're also in the knockout game, Drew. That's the problem. We got to be more ruthless. Correct. That's what separates elites from good. But here's the thing, Drew. We're not elite, and we're not good either. We're just average. So, whilst I hear your point, I think you might want to readjust your expectations of this side. So Josh Little, he comes back into the attack. Javid, I'll do that in the preview show later tonight if we do it, actually. Josh Little back in to bowl his 3rd over. And Pooran goes big. Has he got enough on it? Just gets away with that. The man came in off the boundary. It plugged in the outfield just before the man could get there, but he stopped it. But he stopped it from then skewering past him. Pooran, boy. Pooran nearly gave it away there. Come on, man, Pooran. The whole West Indies wants you to play a captain's innings. Or whole Caribbean, I should say. Anyways, 1 run off that ball. Could have been out, so let's take the small mercies. People, press like, press subscribe. If you're in this watch along or have been in this watch along, or if you've just come back to the watch along. 29 likes is what my top edge there from King. And he gets away with it. 1 run. Right, Pooran back on strike. You lot are saying 6. I ain't even seen it yet. Yeah, Pooran picks that one up. That's short. That's short, and Pooran just launches that one out of the ground. And that's a 6. West Indies move to 98 for 3. 3 balls left of this over. So what was a good over thus far from Josh Little? 2 singles. Pooran's thrown in a 6 in there. And 8 off 3 balls. Right, people, I'm just going to go and actually pour the hot water. That kettle boiled ages. Imagine the kettle didn't even boil. Ah, boy. Anyways, I didn't even turn it on, or it wasn't on at the mains. Right, so West Indies 99 for 3. 1 more ball left of the 14th over. Right, last ball, 9 has come off the over, and King Well struck, but doesn't beat the man on perimeter. So only 9 off it. And that's the end of the 14th over. The run rate is 7.07. What are we saying, people? What do we realistically believe? Oh, sugar. What do we realistically believe West Indies can get here? I think at this stage, 99 for 3 or 14, we should be looking at minimum from here 160 at the bare minimum. Ideally, I want, Neeks has said, Neeks says, can we get 70 from the last 60? That's what I'd like to see, Neeks. But yeah. Well, everyone's just said Piran's out, so there you go. Right, so Puran took on Delaney, finds the man on the boundary, and Puran fails yet again. So it's 99 for 4, and Puran fails yet again. West Indies, as I've said throughout the the tournament, we have yet to none of the players have got to the grips with the dimensions of this ground. None of them, literally none of them. And it's similar. It's similar to the point I made in the live call-in show after the Zimbabwe game. What Puran's fallen victim to there is his natural game. So many of those players, their natural game is to go after the ball. And I just don't think they've been able to adapt to ground dimensions. It'll be very interesting to see. I mean, obviously, Ireland chased 174 on this ground 2 days ago. I still maintain that when Ireland chased that was because of 2 exceptional innings from 2 players, which generally speaking is what needs to happen in T20s. But I don't know. I don't know if these World Cup grounds are. I don't know if they're 6 hitting grounds, for our players anyways. I don't think they're yet to adapt to this notion that what their normal game plan, I think it was Twilly who said it on one of our call-ins, their normal game plan where they where like that shot from Puran clears any ground in the Caribbean. It's not clearing this ground if you catch my drift. Anyways, 100 is up. Rovman's has come in, and he gets off the mark with a single, and the 100 is up now. So a few messages ago, Neek said, "Can we get 70 off the last 6?" Neeks, we might have to settle for 60, or something like that. Anyways, the kettle. Right. Sorry, people. I was sorting out myself. Right. West Indies 107 for 4 into the final 5 overs. I reckon. Actually, let me do my calculations at the end of the 16th. So 5 balls left. Mark Kadir just bowled a wide there. 5 balls left of the 16th over. Powell's gone for a big shot there, but can only get one. These guys playing big shots for 1 run. So I wonder, 5 overs left. Little's going to get 1. Adair has got 1 more after this. That's 2. McCarthy will probably get. Will he go back to Camphor? Will he go back to Camphor, or will he bowl the spinners in the last 5? That's a wide there. Adair again is giving that away there. So Adair's only bowled 2 balls. 4 runs have gone off it because of the wides. Chatil, I mean, the middle phase, we went 64 for 2 through the middle phase, which, I mean, yeah, based on what we've been doing, but ultimately, once again, we've made Gareth Delaney look like he's the best leg spinner in the world game. Playing a miss there by Brandon King outside the off stump. Yeah, we took down Curtis Camphor, but basically everybody for Ireland has bowled well. Well, have they bowled well? I don't know. I think West Indies are a bit tentative here. They showed some good intent initially with King and Lewis. Then Lewis went down with a hamstring and an injury, and people say he's not fit. Yeah, and people say he's fit even. Again, King reaches that one, slaps it to cover 1 run. Yeah, it's hard to say. Ultimate Chatil, it's hard to say. We don't know until Ireland come to bat. Right now, it's looking subpar though. But then the argument would say that we have a better. The argument would say that we have a better bowling attack than Ireland. So who knows? I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's well bowled by Mark Adair again. Boy, 110 for 5. Oh, sorry, for 4. Boy, we might not even make 160 at this rate. Whatever happens, whoever gets out next, Old Dean Smith has to come in next. That much I do know. That's wide from Mark Adair. So 6 have come off this over, 3 of them in wides. So what's that? Is that the end of the over? Oh, there's 1 more left. Is that the end of the over yet? What's going on? Oh, that was the over. So West Indies. What's going on? Have they reviewed that? I just don't think we've got the game for these grounds, you know. I don't think we've got the game. West Indies, to give West Indies their due, they've tried to keep wickets intact. They've tried to bat sensibly today. They haven't gone. I mean, I think that's bat on ground, isn't it? Carl Mayer's got out to a silly shot. Johnson, in fact, no. Charles. Let's see. Yeah, it's bat on ground. Johnson Charles got out to a silly shot, but there hasn't been a lot of risk taking big shots. They've tried to set it up, but if you actually watch how this game has gone, again, for those who've been here from the start, I'm not convinced we've got the game for these Australia. Maybe on another ground, but this ground, I don't think we've got the game for it. I just don't think these players have the variety and skill set within their game in terms of the bat to make hay on these kind of grounds. So everyone will look at the score and be like, "Oh, they're 1-1 for 4. What's wrong with them? Can't they score?" But I don't know. I'm not convinced. Not convinced we've got the skill set to know how to know how to play on the dimensions of these grounds. Really don't think we do. So I said at the start, I think I'd need 170. I think we'd want 175 for me to feel safe. I might say now that if we can get to 160, I'll just have to accept that. Anyways, Brandon King brings up his 50. That's 50 off 39 balls. All things considered, excellent knock. So well done, Brandon King. That's the first 50 from any West Indian in this tournament. Can King cash in now in the back end? With even though these guys are struggling to hit boundaries, hit maximums, something's going to happen. They're going to have to target someone. Gareth Delaney, boy, Sharma's back in with his nonsense. So Powell's now out. Told you we've made Gareth Delaney look like he's the best spinner in the world game. Best leg spinner in the world game. See? So Powell can't clear the boundary. He's gone. It's 1-1-12 for 5. And it's literally like West Indies just heard everything that I'm saying. Thank you, Chatil's point. They're targeting the longest part of the ground on a ground where they've never got to grips with the dimensions of the ground. It's just dunce cricket, man. Like, we don't have the game for these ground dimensions. That shot there from Powell, that clears any other ground in the Caribbean, right? This is Australia. It's Australia, man. Right, 112 for 5 off 17. At this point, I'll take 150 and hope the bowlers can produce some magic. But if I had to predict right now, we're out. If I was forced to predict right now. Is it Oldine? Boy, don't know what to say to you people. There's 3 overs left. It's 112 for 5. Right. So Gareth Delaney has bowled out 4 overs, 3 for 16. We've just made Gareth Delaney look like he's the best spinner in the whole World Cup. Ah, boy. Oh boy. 150 is what we're going to have to try to get to. So what we're going to need, what are we saying here? We basically need 35 odd runs in the last 3 overs. Minimum. At the bare minimum. And even then, even if we do, We have to hope the bowlers can defend 150. So Ireland's strength is with the bat, our strength is with the ball. People, I'm on Twitter at the moment. That's why you're not hearing me. Right. So, anyways. Ah, boy. So, what can we get to? I'm going to stop putting up the score on the screen. It's depressing. Luckily, I have to leave the house in 12 minutes. So, you lot ain't even going to see me finish this live or this innings. Was well directed bouncer there by who's that? Josh Little. The only thing I would say is that I think the fast bowlers have got some purchase here, and we've got a better bowling unit than Ireland. I'm just trying to give us something to clutch onto, people. That's wide. Surely. It's wide. Yeah, it's given wide by Josh Little. It's too wide. See, this innings from Brandon King, it may turn out that this 51 from 40 is about. It may turn out that this is about like the if you're gonna go a good lick on this wicket, maybe that is the only good lick you can go at. Again, I'm trying to clutch at straws here, people. Old Dean Smith is playing like an absolute dunce, like just losing his shape completely. Like I get it. He's trying to get some sixes. He's trying to get some big shots, but like Brandon King needs to go talk to him and say, bro, you can just play an ordinary cricket shot, rotate the strike or something. Old Dean's out there like this is curry goat cricket, and he's trying to lash a man down every ball. We've lost this game, you know. If you're wondering why I'm not talking, people, it's because I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. We're 116 for 5 with 13 balls to go. I don't even think we're going to get to, like, what are we going to get to? So far, a defendable total looks completely out of reach. We need some absolute fireworks to happen. Right, so Oldine licks down a 6. And that ends the 18th over. West Indies are 1-2-2 for 5. Right, everyone put their predictions in now. What can we get up to? 140? Can we get 150? We need 27 runs in the last 2 overs to get to 150. Can we do that? I'm not sure, people. It's, oh boy, 140? 140 minimum. Somehow we need to find a way to get to 150. We need to try and find a mad way to get to 150. Who are they going to turn to, though? Oh, it's Barry McCarthy. Oh, has King got that? Oh, well stopped. Well stopped by the man on the boundary there. That's 2 runs. It's 2 runs off the first ball. West Indies 1-2-4 for 5. Can we cash in against Barry McCarthy? And you assume that Mark Adair will get the last one. Oh, Christ. Right, so that's straight through Brandon King. Good ball by Barry McCarthy, to be fair. I'm stressed out here, people. Right, I'm leaving for work in 10 minutes. Let me start packing my bag because West Indies got me stressed out here, getting me up at 4:30 in the morning, stressing out my whole existence and soul. Tired of this. I don't even want to get to the next stage because pure stress for the next stage. King middles that one, though. I'm about to go work and just start shouting at kids for no reason. This is what these guys do to me, you know. Kids just saying, "Good morning, sir," and I'm just shouting. Right. What else do I need to pack? Oh, excellent again from Barry McCarthy. Only 8 runs off this penultimate over. Boy, oh boy. 1 ball left of the 19th over. Looks like we're going to have to try and get to 140, people. I reckon that was a wide ball on height, though, but it wasn't given. Oh, no, it was fine, in fairness. So what can I give you lot as some carrots to hold on to here? I'm not convinced this has been a good deck. Sorry, no. I'm not convinced this is the easiest track to bat on. That's it. That's the best I can give you lot. Maybe, I don't know. That's all I can give you, people. Wide ball. Bowl that again. Is that out? No, don't run. Right, so King will be on strike for the last over. So 6 balls left, legal deliveries. Oh, God. 6 balls left at best. King 61 of 47. Johnson Charles early got 24 of 18. Ireland's just bowled well. They've bowled well. I think Ireland have bowled to the conditions. They've bowled to a plan, and West Indies haven't helped themselves by Gareth Delaney got 3 wickets for 16 in 4 overs. If you want to know where we kind of gave it away a bit, it's there. But no one, basically, Brandon King's the only person who's been fluent throughout the innings and actually looked like he's got to grips with the conditions and expectations of how to bat on this wicket. Everyone else, boy, it's just been like they've tried, but I don't know. And Brandon King is now off strike, so that's 1 run. That's a full toss. Brandon King should have put that away, and he doesn't. Yeah, Rick and I agree. If Sterling gets going today, the game's over. The game's over within the first 5 overs. There's no way we've got enough at this particular point in time. Oldine would have to hit like 4 sixes now for me to feel like we can defend something. All right, Adair gets the Yorker completely wrong, and Oldine clears that out the ground. That's where you don't bowl to Oldine Smith. Why go round the wicket? That's wide, surely. It's on the wide. Okay. It's a wide ball. I mean, so we've got to 140. That's not enough, but we have got to 140. Can we? How much more now can we add before this innings closes? They come back for 2. Good running. Good running. I think they've got in there. They've gone to the television umpire, but I think they got in there. Yeah, sports sad, and I agree with you. I think Ireland have bowled well. As much as I want to be in my feelings, I do think that Ireland have bowled well. 2 bounces, 3 rolls into boundary. That's a 4 from old Dean Smith. That's wide. Wait, what? Wait. What the hell was that? Wait, what on earth? Wait, what? What? Bish is being nice on commentary. That's an interesting call from the umpire there. If that's not wide, then as far as I'm concerned, nothing's wide. If that's not a wide, then nothing's wide. Anyways, here we go, people. So Ireland on top. They'll need 147 to win. What do you say? This is Ireland's game to lose. At this particular stage, this is Ireland's game to lose. Much like Zimbabwe, we once again turn to the bowlers and say, can you produce some kind of magic to win us this game? Ireland have got the fan support. They've done their job with the ball, I should say. It's their game to lose, and I'm not just saying that for saying that sake. It's their game to lose. If it was the other way round, we would all say, "Oh yeah, if you'd given us 147 to chase, you'd fancy West Indies to win it." Brandon King ends on 62 of 48. Old Dean Smith 19 off 12. Johnson Charles earlier on 24 of 18. Just in terms of the scorecard for Ireland, bowling card. Josh Little 4 none for 31. Mark Adair 4 none for 26. Barry McCarthy 4 1 for 33. Camphor 2 none for 28. Simi Singh 2 1 for 11. And Gareth Delaney, the star turn, 4 3 for 16. It's power play. It's power play or bust for me. It's power play or bust. If when I start going to work, I see Carl Mayers opening the bowling, then I've had enough. People, I've got to run though. It's the I need to get a bus. So people, thank you for everyone who joined the live. 146 for 5 in the first innings. I'll still be on Twitter updating. So if you want to chat, head over to Twitter, people. But thanks for joining. Press like, subscribe on your way out. And we'll be back later on today to break down whether West Indies are out the World Cup or whether we still have to go through 5 more games of potential licks. Keep rallying, people, and I'll catch you later. Peace. We rule the cricket world. Now the rules seem coming. Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things West Indies cricket. By the fans, for the fans.